Today our topic is how to push yourself beyond your limits. Life is not always easy. Sometimes it feels like we are stuck, like we cannot move forward, like we are not good enough. But the truth is, we are capable of more than we think. We all have limits, but these limits are often not as fixed as we believe. The key to pushing beyond these limits is not just about physical strength or intelligence. It is about mindset, discipline, and the ability to keep going even when things get tough. Let me explain why this is so important, and how you can start to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. First, let's talk about why limits exist in the first place. Limits are often created by our minds. We tell ourselves stories about what we can and cannot do. These stories are based on past experiences, fears, and doubts. For example, if you failed at something before, you might think, "I can't do this. I'm not good enough." But this is just a thought, not a fact. The truth is, you are not the same person you were yesterday. Every day, you have the chance to grow, to learn, and to improve. The first step to pushing beyond your limits is to recognize that these limits are often self-imposed. You have the power to change the story you tell yourself. Now, let's talk about motivation. Motivation is like a fire. It can start small, but if you feed it, it can grow into something powerful. The problem is, motivation doesn't always come naturally. Some days you might wake up feeling inspired and ready to take on the world. Other days, you might feel tired, lazy, or unmotivated. This is normal. The key is not to rely on motivation alone. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. One way to build discipline is to set small, achievable goals. When you set a big goal, it can feel overwhelming. You might think, this is too hard. I'll never be able to do it. But if you break the big goal into smaller steps, it becomes more manageable. For example, if your goal is to run a marathon, you don't start by running 26 miles on the first day. You start by running a mile, then 2 miles, then 5 miles, and so on. Each small step brings you closer to your big goal. And each time you achieve a small goal, you build confidence and momentum. This is how you push beyond your limits one step at a time. Another important aspect of pushing beyond your limits is embracing discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. If you want to improve, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. This means doing things that are hard. Things that make you uncomfortable. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, the only way to overcome that fear is to practice speaking in front of others. It will be uncomfortable at first, but with time and practice it will get easier. The same is true for any skill or challenge. The more you face your fears and embrace discomfort, the more you grow. Let's also talk about failure. Failure is a natural part of life. Everyone fails at some point. The difference between successful people and those who give up is how they respond to failure. Successful people see failure as a learning opportunity. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? They don't let failure define them. Instead, they use it as a stepping stone to success. If you want to push beyond your limits, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to try, even if you're not sure you'll succeed. Remember, every failure brings you one step closer to success. Now, let's talk about the power of mindset. Your mindset is the way you think about yourself and the world around you. It can either hold you back or push you forward. A fixed mindset is when you believe that your abilities are set in stone. You think, I'm not good at math, or I'm not a creative person. This kind of thinking limits your potential. On the other hand, A growth mindset is when you believe that you can improve with effort and practice. You think, I'm not good at math yet, but I can learn, or I'm not a creative person yet, but I can develop my creativity. This kind of thinking opens up endless possibilities. If you want to push beyond your limits, you need to cultivate a growth mindset. Believe in your ability to grow and improve. Another important concept is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes things don't go as planned. When this happens, it's easy to feel discouraged. But resilient people don't give up. They find a way to keep going. One way to build resilience is to focus on what you can control. There are many things in life that are out of your control, but there are also many things that you can control. For example, you can't control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you respond to them. By focusing on what you can control, you can stay strong and keep moving forward, even in difficult times. Let's also talk about the importance of rest and recovery. Pushing beyond your limits doesn't mean working non-stop. In fact, working too hard without rest can lead to burnout. Rest is just as important as effort. When you rest, your body and mind have a chance to recover and recharge. This allows you to come back stronger and more focused. Think of it like a muscle. When you lift weights, you create small tears in your muscles. It's during rest that these tears heal and the muscles grow stronger. The same is true for your mind. If you want to push beyond your limits, you need to balance effort with rest. Finally, let's talk about the power of purpose. Having a clear sense of purpose can give you the strength to push through challenges. When you know why you're doing something, it's easier to stay motivated and focused. Your purpose doesn't have to be something grand or world-changing. It can be as simple as wanting to provide for your family, or wanting to be the best version of yourself. Whatever your purpose is, hold on to it. Let it guide you and inspire you. When things get tough, remind yourself why you started. This will give you the strength to keep going. In conclusion, pushing beyond your limits is not easy, but it is possible. It requires a combination of mindset, discipline, resilience, and purpose. It requires you to embrace discomfort, learn from failure, and balance effort with rest. Remember, your limits are not fixed. You have the power to push beyond them and achieve more than you ever thought possible. Start by changing the story you tell yourself. Set small, achievable goals. Embrace discomfort and learn from failure. Cultivate a growth mindset and build resilience. And most importantly, find your purpose and let it guide you. You are capable of more than you think. Believe in yourself and take that first step. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it.